Welcome to Smash Writing. I am your host, Paul.
Stop throwing fists. What are you doing?
And this is the other host, Justin.
Shabadoo. Shabadoo.
And today
I forgot to make the boom boom lemon joke, okay?
That was
Boom boom lemon!
That was 2 weeks ago.
Boom boom lemon! I'm not over it.
He's still on our review of Kate. He's still on Cloud 9.
Watching it.
Vacation Friends shut him down a little bit, but he had to watch Kate again to get him back up into it. Today's review is Cruella. Which
long
is,
overdue. Long overdue.
Yeah.
We're lazy people.
Fall is a little bit busy this year for me, so, you know, I can't.
Nothing's busy for you. You're just lazy.
I'm getting married in 3
Who
weeks.
cares? You're getting married.
Oh my god.
You're just showing up. You show up, you kneel when they tell you to kneel.
You don't kneel!
And you say I do when the pastor looks at you.
Priest. The priest?
Whatever. Well, you know what I want to call him.
No. Let's
see if I don't call him that in real life while I'm there.
Oh god, this is gonna be bad. Anyway, we're reviewing Cruella. It's the origin stories to, of course, Cruella de Vil.
This is interesting going in because I was thinking about it while I was watching it. Like, there's obviously the Marvel and Star Wars stuff, but like Disney-wise, I think the last like live-action Disney movie I actually watched was 101 Dalmatians.
And that came out, I think, what, in the early
99, 2000s.
Yeah, it had to be real early in the 2000s, because...
It's like, animation-wise, too, even with Disney, it's Lilo and Stitch.
That was 2004.
Yeah, I don't watch these movies very often, but I was very excited to watch Cruella because I liked what I saw in the trailer. Just can't get away from them. Jesus, I try. But it did look like it was going to be a lot of fun. And... obviously, we're very late on this. I heard a lot of good things about this movie.
Honestly, when it came back out in, was it like early May or late May?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
I was, you know, obviously I think the theaters weren't like fully even open up yet, and with Disney Premier Access, I kind of shied away from the $30. But this was actually on my list to see in theaters had everything gone a normal schedule. And so I wanted to give it a chance because growing up a Disney fan, you know, I want to see what they would do with this film. I was interesting to see what background they would give Cruella, because in the Dalmatians there was not really a backstory to
she was always more the like ruthless ones too. Like, she was trying to kill dogs and she wanted them as a coat.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, how are you going to approach this character? Let's talk about how they approached it then.
Alright, let's lead the way with the plot.
The movie kicks off with her birth.
Yes.
She was born with black and white hair, which made me laugh way too goddamn hard.
Full head of hair too.
I thought that was, I thought that'd be like some kind of like twisted like dye job she'd do like halfway through the movie. Not ready for it to be born. But regardless, and she's living with her mom, and she's a troublemaker right from the start. She's a genius. She knows what she wants to do in her life. And she
even at like her the childhood days, she wanted to be a fashion designer, but she wanted to break the mold of being a fashion. She didn't want to design the most common stuff. She wanted her own.
Now you see her in school, like she gets into fights, she gets ganged up on and thrown into a dumpster at one point. But she just comes back swinging harder, and she keeps getting in trouble more and more. And right before the principal can expel her, her mom pulls her out.
Yeah, like, you gotta put that on the record book. No, I was expelling. I beat you first. I said I'm bullying. That was a clever, because that does make a difference. That really does.
And then the mom takes her to Hellman Hall, and she tells Cruella to wait in the car, and obviously that doesn't work.
Right.
And she finds her mom outside, and the Dalmatians, who were chasing Cruella, at least that's what she thought at the time, and they tag her mom over the railing.
I've never seen Dalmatians so vicious in this film.
I love that. Dalmatians aren't that friendly. But she goes on the run, and she ends up in London with Horace and Jasper, and we jump ahead 10 years. and they are griefers and robbers, and they robbing to live and everything. But she still has that dream to be a fashion model, or fashion designs.
And Horace managed
Jasper.
He
manages to get her into Liberty dress, or Liberty fashion.
Yeah.
Which she gets fired from because she decorates the window model when she goes on a bender. And when she's getting fired, the Baroness comes in and hires her. And she finds out throughout the movie that the Baroness is the one that had the party, and she's wearing her mom's necklace.
Yep.
So they plan to rob her, and the movie kind of goes from there, that she's trying to take down the Baroness and wants to be the new lead fashion designer. And it's about her just messing with her galas and messing with her...
Pretty much all the fashion shows. She was upstaging her.
Yeah.
That's basically what she was. That was the point of making the name for her. She was upstaging her.
As we go along, we learn that the Baroness is actually Cruella's mother, and she wanted Cruella killed as a baby, but the guy gives Cruella to the woman we meet at the beginning and believe is Cruella's mom.
Yeah. And I mean, through the film, you see Cruella doing.
We see her changing from Estella to Cruella.
Yeah. And there's certain elements of her character that changes that Jasper and Artie's not like.
Who is it? Say that again. Jasper and Horace. Artie's the guy that she goes to bring in to be her fashion guy.
He was pretty badass too. Huh?
I did like him, man. He was cool. He was cool. Oh, that was great. He had those great moments between him and Cruella.
Check. Death.
Not my death.
Not my death. Yeah. Check. Yeah, he stole the spotlight.
The little interaction between him and Horace at the end, when Horace is fighting the guy, and you just see Artie come up and roundhouse kick the guy in the back of the head.
I had him.
Sure you did.
Sure you did. You didn't think he was going to be a badass character throwing some kicks like that?
Yeah, he did. Like, he just badass from the moment you meet him.
So yeah, but you see her character going back and forth, and then finally, the last bit of Estelle that kind of got incorporated to Cruella was when she apologized to her team, and said like, this is who I'm going to be, but at the same time, you guys are my family, and that played a big part because she wouldn't have been half of who she is without them.
Yeah.
Now from watching 101 Dalmatians, some point they also go from being her equals to down to her like henchmen.
Yeah.
So that's something that hopefully they'll play out in future films. The fashion,
I did love all the fashion stuff going in this movie, like her rebel protest fashion galas and everything, fashion shows, like where they lock the Baroness in the car and she gets up on the car and her dress is so big it covers the car.
Yeah.
Kind of like blocking out the past kind of deal. And you had that random they said they had the moths come out and the smoke and stuff, and it pushes everyone outside to her fashion show that's going on at Regent Park.
Which was like a rock star type of party. They got the crowd into it. Man, I am praising everything about this film.
There was a lot of good stuff.
I'm just realizing that we're literally sitting here, even at the back at the mansion, Hell
Mansion.
Yeah.
When she knocked out.
When she convinced she gave all the guests wigs to wear and was her color hair, so the security and everybody literally starts
tackling everyone who shows up. You know what I didn't know I needed in my life till it happened was a Horace DeVille. And you had Horace in the wig and
yeah.
That was perfect. Yes, this is good.
Yeah, and you didn't even see that coming because they're doing all these cut scenes of everybody wearing the black and white hair, and then you see what would be a heavier set woman, and you turn around what
Horace, what are you? He pulled it off. He pulled. Paul Walter Hauser was great as Horace, and he pulled off that look.
He was really rocking it, and you know, the like I said, the security was hilarious. Even with the when Horace was doing pest control, they had a chihuahua. He's like, it's the size of a dog, but it's a rat.
It's the size of a dog, but it's a rat. I tell you. Well, you know that brings us to one point what I really liked about this movie was with Jasper and Horace. It was like they were really good petty thieves.
Yeah.
But when they did try to go bigger, like when they were trying to like switch out the videos and be high-tech thieves, they failed.
Yeah, they really...
They couldn't go above what they were. But everything did have like a nice little plan and feel to it, like when she broke him out of jail. She crashed into the building and got all the cops to come with her as the dog went inside with the pig.
Those dogs were like better than better thieves than the humans. It was... and then also, like, you know...
They didn't make Jasper and Horace super agent stealth guys who can do anything.
Yeah.
They had limits, and they showed them.
Right. You know, this film had a little bit of a drama, comedy, some action.
I liked her being a bad driver.
Yeah.
That did pop me as her still being a bad driver.
Just break...
Hard brakes, hard turns, crowd scraping against every car she drove by.
But then, like, you know, you still had, you know, when she was saying goodbye to her mom at the fountain.
I like those little interviews, interruptions where she's at the fountain.
Yeah.
And that one speech where after she found out the Baroness was her mother, and she's pretty much... Esther's gone at that point. It's just Cruella left.
Yeah. I think Stella. Stella. I think that was the last one where she does say, you know, well, no, the last one where she admits that, you know, this is who she wants to be, this is who she is.
She tried hard to be what she wanted.
And, but she, you know, and she gave, like, you know, you've seen Estelle for, like, that last one going, though I still loved you. Like, that was, and this film literally had a little bit of all, and this had a touching moment because she's like, as you see her turning into the character that we all know she is, she reveals at the end when she's in full effect that this is actually the last person probably hear her say that I love you too. And of course it's just the water.
No, of course it is. Like, hit him with a rock and you see him in public.
But the film, Emma Stone is a brilliant actor.
She did great here.
She really did.
She killed it. Like that fountain scene was really good. She allowed the way she transformed from Stella to Cruella, and the mannerisms, and even her speech pattern changes when she's Cruella.
Yeah. She, and
the look, the style, especially. Everyone who worked on makeup in this movie killed it.
Then even to the point where she was making her own dresses and still making dresses for the Baroness, and it was still eye-popping that she could play. She's being two different people. It was a good touch.
Emma Thompson as the Baroness.
Yeah.
Oh, the Baroness was ruthless in this movie. She did great.
That one scene. There was the one scene where Cruella was like, "You killed my mother." She's like,
"Which one?
Which one? You gotta narrow it down."
No, I loved it when she threw the chair and hit the maiden. She's like, "You're in the way."
Yeah. I mean, this film did it all.
Joel Fry and Paul Walter Hauser as Horace and Jasper were excellent. John McCree as Artie again. Artie was so much fun in this movie.
And I do gotta appreciate the twist with the Baroness being revealed as her mother, because the whole film, you never got that ounce until the very end.
Yeah.
They kept that a good hidden secret. And because throughout the film, you're watching her going back for the Stella and Cruella, and...
It's kind of like, you thought that Cruella was just going to put her out and buy everything she owned.
Yeah, you really thought that. And then, you know, she comes up with even more deceiving way of basically finding out that...
she killed Estella, and she staged it to look like that. So she got tried for murder, But she didn't actually kill the person they thought she did.
And then Estella put everything in Corella's name, so she went full blown out to her new personality and still had her fortune that she found out that she came from. It was all hers anyway. I don't think there is one moment that we were talking about on the ride to my house that
it kind of throws a bit of things.
Kind of throws a wrench of what they're going to do.
It was a fun little nod.
Yes.
But it's really weird if you spend one moment thinking about it. It's like, wait, this is going to get weird.
And obviously, we are talking about the mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
Now, we know, and that's the thing. Before I get into this part, we know, like, every time I was watching this film, every time there was Dalmatians in the scene, I'm like, that's when she's going to hate the Dalmatians.
And like, no point in doing.
She's going to, but then she befriends the Dalmatians and even keeps them at the end. But we know in 101, where she is much older, she wants a coat made out of Dalmatians. So where does the hatred come from with the Dalmatians?
My point isn't so much on that, because they could always just, like, turn her into the new Baroness through time in sequels. To where she's no longer the person we knew from this movie.
And that part's fine.
But
now we're talking about the dogs.
The dogs are where it's like, oh God, if you really stop to think about this for a moment. Because it's like, it's the Dalmatian sheets taken off of the Baroness for herself. That's giving birth to this litter of Dalmatians that she sent to these people who will get together and have a litter of their own that she will want to reclaim and make a coat out of.
So
there's a direct line. It's like, I get why you wanted this mid-credits scene, but you didn't need it.
No, and we were talking about it because, like, at the time they probably filmed it, they probably wasn't going to do a sequel.
Probably not.
That mid-credit scene was just a hype fans of like, this is going to go into 101. But now we know Emma Stone, after some of the lawsuit threats and all that.
They opened the vault for her.
Yeah.
When she said lawsuit, they opened the vault.
They're keeping her, so
they have to. They couldn't do if they wanted to continue this thread, they needed Emma.
Yeah. So they signed her to a sequel, and I think that was probably I
don't know what you're gonna do for a sequel here.
And I even said, like, when we were coming up here, are we afraid to say that Cruella is going to be the reboot? Like,
no.
101, the film, never happened. Those events are now different because I don't know what you're supposed to do at this point.
I don't care. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do for a sequel. Because at this movie, you had something with Cruella becoming Cruella. But where do you go from there? Like, and the only way is to make her more into the Baroness.
But then you still have those Dalmatians. What are you going to do with them?
So, like, at this point, like, after watching Cruella, like, if I wanted to go back to 101, I want to see Cruella kill the dogs now. As awful as that sounds, it's like, I really liked Emma Stone here. I wouldn't care about that. I did like the little teaser where they floated the idea that she did kill the Dalmatians.
Yeah, when she came in,
she came in wearing the...
That was at Rockstar.
It was at a Rockstar showing, and the woman's like, she killed my dogs.
And even Artie was like...
Yeah, he was like, you didn't do it? And she like paused for a moment. She's like, no. No, that's when I'm in my 40s. You give it 30 years.
Yeah. Outside of that blemish with the mid-credit scene.
Yeah, the mid-credit scene. As fun as like a nod as it was, if we weren't planning on doing a sequel, then it's.
Then that would have been a good left alone. But
even then, like, you'd have to like make that circus leap to where she is Cruella here, who didn't kill the Dalmatians, but gave them away, but wants them back now to turn into a coat.
Jesus.
So just don't think about the credits scene and you'll be fine.
Yeah, take away, don't, you know what, as soon as the credits roll, hit exit.
S movie, S tier movie.
Oh, I don't give too many S's out, but this film had it all, so I'm giving it an S.
Great character work, great
character work. When you can throw a little of everything in it,
you made just like Fashion Wars something exciting to watch. Yeah,
and Justin probably chuckled more with this film.
Of course I did. It was actually funny.
It's
Forrest alone was funnier than Vacation Friends.
But this is damn near perfect, and me personally, I don't want a sequel because this film was just too good.
Yeah, I'll watch Cruella too.
Right,
and it's gonna be on pins and needles.
You know, it's going to be like if they can't create another perfect film, then it's so hard to create perfect film.
Well, I'm not expecting perfect, just one that makes sense. Because the only thing left is to like turn her into the Baroness now, which is going to be in a way just thinking about that. It's like, that's gonna be a letdown.
This film definitely came up and was such a high standard film. Said I'm giving it an S. This is a must watch.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't. Like I said, you take away that mid-credit scene, and that's even actually being way too picky. You know, that's like, we're here to review, so we gotta be picky. But
no, we don't. I ignore things all the time.
That is true, but and for the length of time, 2 hour and 14-minute movie, I was okay with it because it had the story.
The pacing was perfect.
The pace didn't. You didn't feel like you were watching a 2 hour and 14-minute movie.
And it was even like you had an hour with Estella and then an hour with Cruella, because it was about the hour marker where she makes the shift.
That is true. So, yeah, I think we both agree that this is an S film and a must watch, and
go watch it. Turn us off. Go watch it.
Go watch it now. Until next time.
Bye-bye.